Hello, everyone. Happy May. Hope everyone's doing well. We're almost at the last week of May. This is crazy. Life passes you by, so you gotta enjoy it. Obligatory self promotion. My book, What If I Ruled the World? Poems Inspired by Music, is out. It's linked in the description, or you can go to my link tree, which also will be linked in the description. Or you can find me on other social media, TikTok, Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. If you want to add me on Pinterest, I don't really, I'm not really on there a lot, but I really like it. But if you want to find me anywhere else, it's up there. And of course, my book. And also, I want to give a mini update. I'm working on a short story collection. I have gotten, I'm still working on the characters. Some of the characters' names I want to change. Yeah, it is what it is. They're going to be 4 stories, 2 couples, and then 2 sisters, sets of sisters. Say that 5 times fast. Um, so yeah, so then they're all based around going on a road trip and like the connections they make on their road trip. So there's that. 3 of the set of pairs, one of the couples and 2 of the sisters, I've already written their stories, but some of them I'm rewriting, like the main story outside of this short story. And then there's gonna be a new. I know it's gonna be new to me, but it's gonna be everything's gonna be brand new to y'all. So, but it's new to me. I'm gonna make a new couple from scratch. So I don't have any background information on these people like the other people that I've written about. Even though you will not have any background, well, you will most likely in the story. They're gonna give background information, but you know what I mean. I've already written stories about these other characters. What I'm saying. So watch out for that. Um, I'm thinking the final destination would be cool to be like DC since I live so close to DC. There's so many cool things in DC. And I'm trying to decide, do I want all of the characters to know each other at the end of the story, like in meet up? Or do I want it to be some of the characters know each other and some of them don't? Technically, I even started writing it. I'm trying to outline it at this point. So that's just an update on what I'm working on next. So we'll see if that comes out before the end of the year. No guarantees. I have not put any deadlines to anything, but those are my next plans. So yeah, so today we're here to talk about The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. It's a memoir that she recently came out with, and I'm going to give some background information, the release date, and the synopsis right now. So the background is on February 21st, 2022, there's a report that Spears signed a $15 million book deal for her then upcoming memoir, one of the biggest deals of all time, apparently. 3 months after her conservatorship was formally ended, on July 11, 2023, she announced that the book would be titled The Woman in Me and will be released October 24th, 2023. The title is in reference to a lyric in her song, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman, where she sings, I'm trying to find the woman in me, which is very fitting for the book because she does mention that in the book. And it was reportedly ghostwritten together with journalist Sam Lansky. Lansky, I hope I said his name right, or her name, because Sam could be gender neutral, But it's 288 pages, 49 chapters, released in 26 languages, and the audiobook was released at the same time as the book. It was not 100% narrated by her because it was heart-wrenching and emotional content. So she had actress Michelle Williams record the main bulk of the audio, while Spears read its introduction, and she promoted the book and the memoir in People, providing insights in its content, and she did a cover shoot, which she had not done since 2016, which is a little crazy to think that she has not been on a magazine since 2016. It seems like it was weird. But, knowing the story of why, some things she didn't get to pick for herself. A lot of things she didn't get to pick for herself. So, that now. So I already said the release date. The synopsis is The Woman in Me chronicles Spears' journey to stardom, publicized challenges she faced, and her endeavors to break free from a long-standing conservatorship that controlled her life. So that's the synopsis. Um, I will say, if you go on Wikipedia, don't look at too much. I think they have like a synopsis at the top and like a summary of like the whole book. Of course, don't read the whole summary of the whole book. Read the book. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Just read the book. So I'm gonna give my pros, my cons, and my overall opinion. My first pro, it was very honest and raw. She even acknowledged when she had her own flaws. For like example, after she had her sons, she realizes now that she had postpartum depression, and she would say sometimes she was mean and she was emotional. And, she does acknowledge that she had mental health issues. So it's not like she's just 100% like, oh, this is everyone else's fault. Like she knows that she had issues. Um, oh yeah, I talked about that. Acknowledging her mental health issues, and yeah, it's very honest. Like even down to like her day to day, what she would do under the conservatorship was just so crazy. How much she was controlled, and she also talked about how under the conservatorship, they're saying, oh, you can't make decisions about X, Y, Z, but she could still perform, and make music, but she couldn't control anything else in her life. And she mentions that several times. And I agree with that point. Like, how am I incapable of making my own decisions, but I can work, still making money, basically? Um, and her dad, Kevin Federline, and Justin Timberlake, don't let me catch them outside. Okay, I'm squaring up with all of them. Okay, the sons, it's a complicated situation. I'm not gonna do that to the sons, but their dad, they all getting jumped. That's it. That's on site. Okay. Um, well, she talks a lot about her relationship with Justin. I feel like Justin was her first like serious. That makes sense. Yeah, her first really serious relationship. That's what I would say. And of course they met on the Mickey Mouse Club. I'm trying to spoil the whole book, but basically talks about her emotions with that and the fallout. There was a clip. I might have heard it, but not really paid attention. Um, but there was one clip where she was like, I asked, was it in? And he said yes. And I don't know if that was like AI or that was really in the book. And I just was not paying attention. But she does mention other boyfriends as well. She mentions before Justin and after Justin and her now former third husband, if you didn't know about that. Um, she does talk about him in the book, which I feel like, well, it was released last year. Because I was like, dang, she already put her husband, but I think by that time she was already married to her husband. Um, which online his name is Sam, but she calls him something else in the book. It's like Hassan or something with an H. But yeah. And I also loved Michelle Williams narrating it. I feel like she embodied the voiceover. I still felt like I was listening to Britney talk. Like she embodied her like writing voice, if that makes any sense. I thought Michelle Williams had an accent. Like she was like, I don't know if I thought she was British. I really only have seen her in My Week with Marilyn, which I think that movie's so cute. Of course, I love Marilyn Monroe, as you may or may not. But maybe because of that movie, I thought she had some kind of accent. But I feel like she was. This is not an insult. I feel like she was plain enough that you felt like you were really listening to Britney. If that makes any sense. Um, and it was just so good. I didn't write that many notes, but I'm gonna say it's so good to know about her like family background. Like there were so many things that I didn't know about her uh, mom's family, and then her talked about her dad's dad and the impact of him on her dad, and then on to them. And then the same thing with her mom's mom and her mom and her favorite aunt, and like all these different people that I had no idea like that were important in Britney's life. It's really interesting to like hear about those people, and it was really interesting to see like where she came from. It's really cool. And my con, even though I don't think it was like bad, 100% bad, I I do understand why she did not narrate, but her not narrating is a little bit of a con for me. But I understand the pain is still fresh. She just got out of her conservatorship. What was it, 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. No, 2023, 22. Oh, we're in 24. I keep forgetting. Yes, 2 years ago. So it's, yeah, I understand. It's still fresh. So it's not a huge con for me, but it would have. But I still think Michelle Williams did a really good job. The actress Michelle Williams, even though Michelle Williams for Destiny's Child is also an actress, the white one. You know what I'm talking about. But I understand why she did not narrate. I do kind of think that it would have been interesting though, with her talking about the different things. And of course, she doesn't talk about every single thing that happened in her life. Like I wanted her to kind of talk about. I feel like it's a spoiler, so sorry, spoiler alert. She doesn't really talk about the custody of her sons, but I also feel like it kind of makes sense because it could still be a sensitive topic to her, but it's not really clear, but it's also kind of clear, if that makes sense. It's like you can assume certain things, you know what I mean? But she mentions the custody, but she doesn't like mention like the end of it with her ex husband. You know what I mean? Like the ending result. But you can kind of assume from like the other circumstances she talks about. So my overall opinion, I like some quotes that she had said in the book, so I'm going to talk about that. She quoted Rumi, the poet. We talked about him on my channel. I've talked about him. His book, uh, poetry. What was it? Poems for Friends, something like that. I read that book and I talked about it on my channel. If you want to check out that video, check it out. I think it's under my writing. Yeah, it should be under my writing playlist. Yeah, you can check out what I thought about his poetry. But she made this quote: "The wound is the place where the light enters," from Rumi. And she mentioned that when she was talking about like something that happened between her and a friend, and how they really like connected on like a spiritual level. Because I forgot exactly what was happening to her, but she was in some kind of grief period. I think it might have been after her and Justin broke up, and she was trying to heal, and her friend had taken her out, and they were just hanging out, and they had some kind of connection. So I thought that was a really cool quote. So I stopped the audiobook and actually put that in my notes. And then another quote that I liked was "Freedom equals being imperfect." I don't know if that's a direct quote, but that's how I typed it. So it might be a little paraphrase. But I like that because a lot of the book she talks about how she's supposed to be like she has this pressure to be so perfect and so like this image that once she wasn't that and she was having mental health issues, then her family was like, "Whoa, what's going on? You're not, you're not in this box that they want to put you in." You know what I mean? So I really like that she said that. Freedom is being imperfect because nobody's perfect, and it felt like so much pressure on her. And also, like I mentioned in my short video, the paparazzi was there. Her family's not supportive. She's having postpartum depression. She acknowledges that now. And she didn't really get help for it 100%. It doesn't sound like, at least from the book, listening to the audiobook, it's just, you know, it's a lot of layers to like all the things she went through. And it's like, she's not going to be perfect, and unfortunately, She talks about now we have more talk we talk more openly about mental health issues, but back in the early 2000s, it wasn't really a thing. I still feel like we're better, but I still kind of feel like we have a long way to go still. But that's a whole other topic. So let me talk about what I think about the book. Oh, and she said that when she was in the conservatorship, she was in between treating it like a in between being treated like a child, but wanting to be a woman. So I feel like that also ties in with the title, "The Woman in Me," and like her trying to find herself, especially after the conservatorship ended. She had the freedom to do whatever she wanted, you know. And I really love this book. I do. Of course, there were parts that made me sad and mad, but I loved hearing Britney's story. Hearing how she didn't put her all into some of her performances made sense given the background. Because I definitely have been like, this Britney ain't really doing as much as she used to do. But now learning that um that was her way of being rebellious when she was forced to perform, she wouldn't perform 100% all the time, and it makes sense now, like looking back, because I was like, dang, Britney, what you doing? You ain't doing too much. But really, she's been forced to perform, so she's not trying to give it her all, basically, which makes sense. You know, you have this passion for music, this passion for dancing, and she wants to do it on her own terms, and she wants the freedom to like not basically not be forced to do it, you know, just to make other people money. hmm Um, and I really loved Michelle Rivers' narration. Like I said, she embodied Britney's written voice, and I feel like I never really knew her until now. Like I knew a little bit of her background. I knew she was on Mickey Mouse Club. She was with Justin. The whole mental breakdown, basically, incident. You know, not trying to come back to the VMAs, and it wasn't the greatest. And you know, all of her success before that and success after that, her having the babies. But you know, I feel like I really know her. You know what I mean? And once again, I'm advocating against child stars, even though I do understand that we need children need to see other children on TV like them. They need to watch children's shows. But I know hers, she was back in the 80s, but even Jeanette McCurdy, and I know that was probably like 2010s, we gotta we gotta fix something because if it's still happening, it's still bad in 2010s. Like I don't, it's a lot. We gotta figure this out. We gotta treat kids like human beings, basically, really, and not just cash cows. I highly recommend the book, and I hope Brittany can live the life she truly wants now. And I will give this book a 10 out of 10. And once again, support your local library. I listen to it on the Libby app, and that's where I listen to it at. Always support your local libraries. I just saw on Twitter you can add more than one library card on this on the well on the Libby app. So I kind of looked into it a little bit, but I didn't really look into it. So I'm gonna definitely look into it because I feel like there's some books I want to read or listen to audiobook. I mainly use it for audiobooks because I feel like if I want to read a book, I'm just gonna go buy a book and open it and read it. I'm still not into the e-reading. I've gotten through the audiobook, so maybe one day I'll get to the e-reading and be into it, but not yet. So, but yeah, I'll open it up for me so I can hopefully find other things I would like to listen to. So yeah, highly recommend the book. And I decided to write a poem today, and it's called Freedom. It's supposed to be in Britney's voice, kind of. I tried to channel her. So here's the poem. Being locked away for 13 years, no control over my own life, made to work even though I'm told I'm not capable of making my own decisions, even though I'm supposedly incapable of anything other than whoops, I'm going to say other than doing as I'm told to. I'm still the family ATM. But no more. Freedom is being imperfect. No move I made went unnoticed. Freedom is being understanding. No empathy for me at my lowest. Freedom is being passionate. No input on my own career for years. Make Freedom is being able to make mistakes without my freedom being taken away. Freedom is being able to love who I want to love, who I want to, without having to give them a background check. Freedom is treating me as the woman I am. I am a woman now. No in between. No ifs, ands, or buts. I am a woman who deserves her freedom. And she got it. And one more thing I want to talk about before I end the video is that some people look at Britney online and say, oh, well, I see why she needs a conservatorship. People are going to be human beings, that nobody's perfect. Why does her posting maybe scandalous things that other people post all the time mean that she needs to be controlled and be put in a conservatorship because she's dancing because she wants to dance and she wants to show people, or because she's naked and she wants to show off her body, or she wants to show off her fashion? It's like she doesn't need that. That's the problem. Like, and then also another thing, because of the conservatorship, she has all these pain and all this probably mental health issues that she has to go through. She has to resolve. And after not being in control of your own life for 13 years, maybe you will go a little wild. Maybe you will be a little naked online. Maybe you will be dancing and doing what you can now that you're free. So yeah, that's basically my last point I want to make. Once again, highly recommend the book. 10 out of 10. If you read it, if you read it, or if you have read it, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, oh, I made it to 101 subscribers. Thank you all so much for subscribing and watching my videos. I really appreciate you all. Keep liking, keep subscribing, comment, share if you want. I know I don't usually say all this, but yeah. Thank you all so much for watching me. Oh, and next week I'm going on vacation, so there'll be no video. So yes, I'll see you the week after next.